Hi, I'm Josh from Yolkk, and today we're going to be walking through MDS Legal's website on Webflow Editor to be able to change text on the page, team members, services, add and subtract various things, and so on and so forth. So let's get stuck in. So this is Webflow Editor here. As you log in, yours might look a little bit different to mine. It might just have pages, collections, and something else here instead of all the tabs up down here. But this is, once you've logged in, this is the state you'll see. To log in, you'll effectively go to the URL. It probably won't be this because this is actually the staging domain at the moment. It'll probably be MDS's proper URL, but at the moment it's this URL, !edit. Just click on that and log in using the login information I've hopefully supplied. You'll be taken to this. It might come up with a little edit tab at the bottom there. Click that and go forward. And then the next step is a little bit unusual, but I think it's really, really helpful to do. So under Chrome, you can go File and then New Incognito window here. So if you just go File, New Incognito window, and open the domain under an incognito window next to the tab you've got open. You need to open it in a new incognito window. It can't just be the same window. Otherwise, this editor plays up quite heavily. So I'm going to make mine full screen here. So if I go full screen on my Mac, I can swipe between the two, and I'm going to do quite a lot of that during this tutorial. So don't get too confused when I fire it over this way and then go back to this one. It's just something I'll be doing. The reason being is sometimes, like for instance, if I click on these here, it doesn't open. Whereas obviously when I do it on the main page, it opens this lovely little menu in the side here. Equally, later on, there we go, it's got something there, doesn't like that. Later on, when I go onto some of the service pages, sometimes it's really easy to visualize it under the website here, whereas it's difficult to visualize it on the editor here. So I think opening a private browser, if you're using Safari or a incognito window or whatever it's called on the browser you're using, is really, really helpful. Right, let's get stuck in further. So first of all, when you hover over certain things, this little edit box comes up, and it's super, super simple to just click that and edit text on the page. Instead of law, this can now say hello, ! And then let's go back to putting law. And when I click away from that, it'll say saving, and then it'll say one unpublished change at the bottom here. And of course you press publish to change that, and it'll try and highlight what the change is. So that's really, really simple, and that is across the whole website effectively. You can just dive into things and edit text straight on the page. It's equally the same for images as well. Like a little thing comes up here saying images, and you could just click an image and change it just like that. So really, really simple across it. If purple displays under it, there is a different way to edit it. I think you still can jump in like this, but there is potentially a better way to do it, which we'll explore in a second. Just a quick foreword on images, changing images on the website. It is a little bit of, there is a bit of a trick around it, because effectively, let's say I opened an image here and selected this one to change it to. This one's 3.4 megabytes, and that's a bit of a no-no for the web. Let's say someone's loading this website on their mobile phone using just like 3G. A 3.4 megabyte image is too large for that, so we need to downsize that image. Now I use this site here called Image Resizer with a Z .online. Image Resizer .online I think is really, really helpful. You literally just go onto it, click the button, let's pick that 3.4 megabyte image here, and I can change the size of it. I'll make it 60% its size. I'll make it a WebP, that's the best file format for the web. It even has transparency built within it, and I'll make it 85% quality and press resize here. We can see that's come out as 217 kilobytes or 0.217 megabytes, and that's about right. So I would say anywhere between 100 kilobytes and 350 kilobytes is perfect. So really, really, really simple. Let me just check this is recording, because I actually did record one of these and it didn't. Woohoo! Right, diving further back into it. When we want to change pages, sometimes it doesn't allow us to on this. And it's the same problem again. It's highlighting something else. It's actually saying here to change the background image is why it's gotten confused here. Sometimes I can refresh here and I can get the text here, edit site, and I might be able to like grab that text before it does it, so I could like click in there, but I didn't actually do it in time, so you might need to contact me for certain things. But under pages here, it will allow you to change the page very simply. One place where people get confused quite a lot, actually, myself included at times, is this little next button here. It's only showing 10 pages of 16. The website has many more than 16 pages, but we'll go into that in a second. But effectively, just click this next button and you might find pages that you haven't seen before. So you can just go under the About Us here, and then you can just edit text on the page fairly simply there. So the next part to this, so images and text, really simple. Just click on pages here, play around with that, and literally just click on text on the page and edit it. That's the bulk of what you need to do. The second side is where it gets a little bit more complicated under this collections here. Collections are effectively where something is just continuously repeated on your website. So for instance, if I go under your About Us page here and scroll down, and I've got to the team section here. When I made this little segment here for Mahmuda, that is a continuously repeated segment across Krishna here, Gemma, Alia, Hannah, so on and so on. So effectively, what I've tried and done is so that it's super editable, super manageable, is effectively a form to fill in. So if we go under this collections tab here and go onto the team members, these are all just forms that are filled in to get this team member here. So to edit it, I would just, of course, click on this one here, but just to show, this is add a new team member here. It's just a form. A really simple form. So let's go under Mahmuda. We've got the name at the top here. The slug doesn't matter too much on this one. And we've got the sort order. So the sort order isn't always applied, like it is under here. Some of them aren't, like we've got sort order later under services, but I've actually made this in alphabetical order. I thought that would be more helpful for users. I've done it under here, under alphabetical order, but actually when I go back to the home page, I need a homepage thing there. It's not under alphabetical order up here. I wanted CES first. So sort order's there, as long as I've ticked the right boxes and things. Main image, second image, job title, position still needs to be filled in. There's a third image, but I'm not doing anything with that at the moment. So it's just the way I created it. If you want to add a new team member, super simple, add a new team member, select these team members, you can delete multiple ones at the same time. Fairly intuitive on that side of things. Let's go back and talk about some other fairly simple ones, like testimonials. We've got lots of testimonials here, short snippet. I think I've got 2 of these reviews. I think I need to delete one of those, to be very honest with you. But again, pretty simple. You'll get the hang of that quite quickly. Frequently asked facts, again, fairly simple format. Where it gets a little bit more complicated is it's not a tiny website, this, and we have a lot of services and a lot of pages under these. So we've got a couple of different ones here. So first of all, what we've got is the service categories. Here we've got these 9, maybe 11 service categories, and you can click on those and have a little browse here. And we can see all these here. Now these pages aren't always laid out the same. Let's actually take a little look at the layout. We've got the title at the top here. We've got kind of like all the different pages here. If I click on these, it'll take you to this page. If I click on this, it'll take you to that page just here. And if I go back and we've got the charity section, it'll take you down to the charities, so on and so on and so forth. We've got this overview, then we've got this conditions part, and then we've got case studies. So it's split into 3, and then charities actually as well. So it's split into 3 there. The next part is, under some of them it doesn't have it. So if I go into CES, it actually doesn't have a conditions part here. It just has overview and case studies. And we can see the overview is much longer than that conditions part. The way that it works is effectively, if I go under collections here, we've got service categories and services. They're 2 different sections here. So under service categories, we've got your 11 or 9, oh, it's 10 actually, services here. So if I click on CES, we've got various things throughout the page here. So let's just walk through that and pull up CES here. So first of all, we've got the title and this main image. So title, main image. Then we've got this little rich hero text. Rich text hero. Now this is what you call a hero section. The hero section of the page is what's first seen. Now some of these have a little bit of text at the front. Let's just check out one that does. Injury to baby, might? No. Injury to mum? Yes, there's the little bit of text just there. So that's what's in this rich hero text just there, is that little bit of text just there. Not all of them have it, you don't need to fill it in. I think it even says it here, don't need anything here, just option of adding small text. And I have tried and helped you out with this help text here. Main image, then we've got this overview image here. So if I scroll down, we've got the overview, and then we've got an image to the left of it here. So that is the overview image. Now, if you don't fill it in, it's not like it doesn't show anything. I've got effectively another section showing there, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But then we've got the overview here, and then we've got the overview text. So let's just showcase that. There's that overview image. This is the overview text, our approach to claims. Which one am I showing here? This is CES. Let's go back to CES down here just so we can just see that. So there it is, our approach to claims. We've got our approach to claims. Now, just to show you, when you start typing in text, hello, exclamation mark, it comes up small. But before you type in text, there's a little plus button here, and you can add an image, a video, you can embed code into there if you so wished, or you can put bullet points in there, or a sorted list, 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing you can do is make the text into a heading. So heading 1 is the biggest text on the page, 2 is the sort of secondary headings, 3 is third headings, and so on and so forth. I think that this one would be a heading 3, and this one's probably heading 3 as well. So just show you, these are all come in different sizes, and they're replicated throughout the website as well. So if I change that here, press save, and then publish these changes, publish, and then I went under here and refreshed the page. It comes up here, our approach to claims, exclamation mark. There it is. So really, really simple to make some changes here. Now, this is actually fairly intuitive, especially if you've got this tab up here and you can sort of see how it's laid out, but it isn't the easiest in the world. Remember, it is quite a big website. So under this conditions bit here, we've got turn off the conditions section. So hide conditions section. So as we saw earlier, this doesn't have that middle section that others do. So if I open another tab here, and if I go under this here, and if I go to injury to mum, let's say for instance, under here, they've got this whole conditions section, and the CES doesn't have it. I've hidden that here. One other thing is, a lot of these you won't want to be called conditions, and we can change that quite simply by just changing the conditions title. I don't want it to be called conditions. I prefer it to be called services, or whatever you want there. Also, it can have a little box of text underneath, and that's that conditions text can be just written there. Super simple. Case studies, I turn case studies off. Case studies image, again, fairly simple. That's the case studies image. These are the case studies here. If you want a bit of case studies text here, introduction to case studies. And then you can add the case studies in here. We'll head over to this part later on, how to add case studies. You can technically do it from here, but probably best not to. But you can definitely add the case study once it's been added in there. The call to action isn't actually live at the second. I don't have a call to action on the page, but I definitely do have a charities section where we can add that here. We can add the charity description section. I don't know if I've done that actually. I don't think I have. I might do that after. I need to add that in there. And all the services that need to be associated with this whole thing go in here. I might bring that to the top actually. So next time you see this, this might be at the top. And then I'll just press save or publish, or like I'm going to do now, I'm going to discard any changes that I just made. So that's how you would edit the categories side of things. Now let's jump over to the whole services. So firstly, there's a lot of services on here. There's about 100 services, 102 services on this website. It is not a small website. And just to say, you can actually bring up various things here to be able to see it a little bit easier, and then change how this is displayed on the page like this, name or whatever you want it to be. And that's if you click the pin over here, it allows you to define them under sort order, to modify them under, that categories might not show for you, so bring up categories here, and it just means that you can have much more control over the visualization of how this displays. If we want to find one here, let's go under CES, because we've been under it here, and let's find let's go under this what makes us different here. So this is showing us what makes us different, so let's go under this here. So CES, that's CES, and we've got what makes us different, choosing about it's the first one. What makes us different? I'm interested to see why it's showing up here. I think I might not have clicked the sort orders properly on that, so I'll make a note to change that afterwards. How am I going to do that? I'm going to set a little alarm on that one, otherwise I'll forget. There we go. Fantastic. Alarm set for that. So I need to go and change that, but this should be sort order number 4, and it will appear in sort orders. Then we've got this here. So category is going to go under CES. That's fairly intuitive. And then we've got this category part. So where does it want to come in this page? Does it want to be in this overview section? Does it want to be in these, it's not shown under CES, but it would be under the condition section, or is it a case study? So we've got that here, and we can go condition or case study. Now case studies actually are, there is a second part to that, i.e. it can be, we've got case studies that slide in elsewhere, so it doesn't need to be, case studies aren't really under services, but I've just kind of given the option for it to be there, but that might actually be a little bit confusing. But let's just walk through this. So we've got the main image. So if I go under this bit here, what makes us different? We've got the main image here at the top, that's the main image. Then we've got this part here, so we've got this here, this here. Now interestingly, this is all actually showing as it's showing as quotes, and it shouldn't be. So I'm actually just going to delete that here. I'm just going to unhighlight that. We already had a little look of how to add text and how to add things. It's quite handy actually. We're seeing how to add quotes in here, so we can see that once we add bits, we could highlight it and press this little bit here, and that will show us a quote. But oh, these are all quotes. That's why it's showing us quotes, because they are quotes. I see. So that's what's showing at the second under what makes us different. They're all quotes under here. I see. So these are all customer bits here. I would be tempted to jump in and add a little something under this, i.e., John Smith under here. Blah, 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 blah. But these are all quotes, so that's why it's showing there. Let's jump under another one, because that is a little bit confusing. Let's go under CES and go under... Oh, let's just do something else. Let's go cancer claims, stomach cancer. Let's do that instead. So we'll go to cancer claims here. We'll find it on the page here, and we'll go stomach. There we go. There it is. Stomach cancer. I can click it from up here. And we can see this main image here, main image, we can see it's under the condition side of it. So if I went back to this here, where does it come under? Well, it's not going to come under overview, it's going to come under this conditions here. And the sort order is 19. So it's quite far down the list, and it is down here under probably around 19 down. So then we've got here, we've got the main body here. So if I go into this one again, we've got the main body of text here going down, and then it stops and it goes, we've got this title here, should you make a claim, and then you've got this contact us here. So once I get down to here, we've got contact us here. It shouldn't really be showing as this size here. I thought I'd actually change this image to be much smaller, but again, I need to change bits and bobs like this. But we've got the very specific text here, and then at the bottom here, we've got this call to action. So that's the first call to action. Then there's space for a second body of text down here. So we've got this second body of text down here, and then all the generic call to action. So we've got space to add more and more text and more things all the way down here. If I discard all the changes here, we've got, all these here. And again, once you get into it, it is fairly intuitive, but having this second page here is really, really helpful. If I press things in here, let's just go over these really quickly. Blogs, we can add new blogs in here, fairly intuitive on this one. And then the last one is call to action images. So actually, this call to action image here, if I go under these, if you don't add an image in here, it actually randomizes the call to action images in here, and you can change these images. You can see that this is a randomized image. I think that's the one it's showing. But if I refresh this page, let's say if I opened it under a new incognito tab here, let's go under here, it might actually show, it showed the same one. I think it changes every like 30 minutes or so. But effectively, these are randomized images, and you can change those randomized images under this part here. So if you don't like one of those randomized images, like this one here, like this one showed really, really tall. So I might actually delete this image here so it doesn't show. So it's really, really editable. I think I'm going to finish it here for now, but hopefully that's been a really good. Don't forget to publish any changes at the end, and hopefully that's been a really little brief, but not brief actually, bloody hell. I hope it's been a walkthrough that really makes sense. I think it does take a bit of time. It will take a bit of diving into, but I hope it really, really helps. Email me if not.